All right, guys, today we're looking at quotient of powers, quotient meaning division, and we're going to be looking for a shortcut to do this division of bases with different exponents, like bases with different exponents. So we're going to write it in expanded form and then see if we can simplify it. So 9 to the fifth is 9 times 9 times 9 times 9 times 9 over 9 squared is 9 times 9. And now we're dividing here. So remember, whenever you divide a number by itself, we get 1. So this is like 1 times 1 times 9 times 9 times 9. Now, 1 times 1 doesn't change the product, so we're really just left with 9 to the third. Let's try another one. Number 3, same thing but with some variables. So n to the 7th is n being multiplied by itself 7 times. And n to the third is n being multiplied by itself 3 times. And again, just like with the numbers before, n divided by n is just 1. So it's like 1 times 1 times 1 times n times n times n times n. And again, the ones aren't going to affect the actual answer, so I can simplify it to n to the fourth. Now, with number 5, same thing happens here, but it will be a little bit trickier because we might have something left in the denominator. So here we have 7 to the 5th, which is 7 times 7 times 7 times 7 times 7 times the 112. And then on the bottom, I'm going to rearrange it so the 7s are with each other. We have 6 7s and 2 12s. So these 7s cancel out because when I divide them, I get 1. And these 12s cancel out because when I divide them, I get 1. So I'm left with 1 over 7 times 12, or 1 over 84 if I actually evaluate it. So you're going to go back and try the evens on your own. You can pause the video here or go through the whole thing and then come back to it later. So now we're going to add some coefficients and variables. So hopefully you've figured out from the first half of the lesson that the rule here is to subtract the exponents and then just deal with the bases separately. So for this first example, we have 14 over 21, and then x to the fourth over x to the fifth, and y to the seventh over y to the third. So 14 and 21 actually have a common factor of 7. So we're going to simplify that part first. 14 divided by 7 is 2. And 21 divided by 7 is 3. So 14 21st is the same as 2/3. Then I look at my x's, and I'm going to do 5 minus 4. That gives me 1. So there's one more x left in the denominator. Then for the y's, I'm going to do 7 minus 3. And there's 4 more 7s, and then, 4 more y's in the numerator than in the denominator. So my final answer is 2y to the 7th over 3x. Okay, here's another one, number 13. Similarly, we have 25 40ths that we have to simplify, and we know 5 goes into 25 and 40. So I can do that first. 25 divided by 5 is 5, and 40 divided by 5 is 8. So my simplified fraction would be 5/8. Then I look at the a's. Now remember, this one doesn't have an exponent, so I'm going to put a 1 there so I don't forget about it. If I do 3 minus 1, I have 2. So there's 2 more a's in the numerator, so we can write a squared. And then this b's too also needs a 1. Do 4 minus 1, so there's 3 more b's in the denominator. So my final simplified answer is 5a squared over 8b cubed. Number 15. Now 96 is divisible by 8. It is 12, so I'm going to write down 12. Then x to the 8th over x to the 3rd. If I do 8 minus 3, there are 5 more x's in the numerator. And then y to the 3rd over y to the 3rd, well, 3 minus 3 is 0, so that means the y's cancel out exactly because y to the 3rd over y to the 3rd would just be 1. So my simplified answer is 12x to the 5th. Okay, and then number 17, we have a word problem. A garden has an area of 132 x cubed y to the 4th square centimeters. The length is 12x squared y centimeters. Find the width. Well, we know area is length times width, or base times height. They're giving us the area and they're giving us the length. So I can rewrite my equation to solve for width. Width would be area divided by length. Okay, so I'm going to do 132 x to the 3rd, y to the 4th over 12x squared y. 132 divided by 12, pretty sure is 11, but I'm going to check that. It is 11. I was right. So we get 11. Then if I look at my x's, there's one more x in the numerator, and there's 3 more y's in the numerator. So my final answer would be 11xy cubed. Okay, so again, you're going to go back and try the evens that I didn't do with you. Make sure you're asking questions if you're not 100% sure before you move on to your exit tickets and to your homework.